Hey, what's up, everybody? Danny finally back with the new Vinyl Finds. Turn that down a minute. In case you don't know who that is, Ronnie Woods on guitar with the Faces with Rod Stewart. Check them out. So, yeah, my hope was to do one of these once a week, and recently I've been going through some turbulent times at work, and it just put me into a funk. And I still have been buying records, but just, you know, life in general, sometimes it sucks. But hey, I still got a job, so that's what's good. But so yeah, it's time to get back on the horse and start putting some more of these out and sharing with you my love of music and some of my new finds. I've got about 3 weeks worth, so I'm gonna try to go through it quick. I don't want to make it too long. I know people don't want to watch these for 30 to an hour long, so I'll try to make it quick. So, like I said, Ronnie Woods. This is the Faces. I recently found this at my local shop near where I work in San Diego. Kind of a best of. It's Snakes and Ladders is the name of it. It's on Warner Brother Records, black vinyl. I'm sure we've all seen this label or whatever, but yeah, it's got a lot of their classics on there. And I was turned on to these by an old friend of mine years ago, probably about 25 years ago, because I knew Rod Stewart just from the disco era, Hot Legs and shit like that. I didn't know he had this whole other side of him where he was a rocker, man. And this album right here, A Nod is as Good as a Wink to a Blind Horse. Oh my God, when I first heard this and heard that song, just the slide right there. God damn, it doesn't get any better than that. If you like bluesy rock and roll, I mean, he's just killer. They tear it up. No wonder why the Stones took him, right? But let me turn it down a little bit. So yeah, recently my brother has gotten back into records. He bought a brand new turntable, which I'm very jealous of. It's a very nice one. But so we decided to go shopping and beef up his collection. And we started with a shop in Rancho Cucamonga called Dr. Strange Records. And I believe I don't know if they still have a record label out, but I know they had Face to Face that were on their first album came out on their label. I don't know if they're putting anything out now, but record store's been there for quite some time, and I've always wanted to check it out. So we finally went up there and checked it out. And it's cool. Mostly new stuff. They used selection that they had. I didn't find anything that I was interested in. But that being said, I did find a new record that they had there. Live in a Drive, which is basically a spoof or a bite off of Fat Wreck-Chord's Live in a Dive. Live record, I believe it was recorded at B.B. King Blues Club and Grill. I think it might be Chicago, not sure. A lot of good tracks on it. There's even some stuff from Operation Ivy on here. If you're not familiar with Rancid, that was a couple of the guys in the band were in a band called Operation Ivy. Very kind of cultish, I guess. Good band. You know, they just didn't put out a lot of stuff. They weren't around very long. But yeah, I seen this a long time ago, and I've been looking for it. It's an Italian import. I've found 2 on eBay, and they were not cheap. And at $40, I couldn't pass it up compared to what it's going for. It's a double album, colored. I believe there are multiple colors from what I've seen on Discogs. The 2 that I have, one is the gray vinyl. Show you the label. And little rip off on Hellcat Records. They've got the little Hellcat upside down. Kind of funny, but that's Tim Armstrong's record label, if you're not aware of that. Rancid, the lead I guess you could say lead singer, Tim Armstrong. He does a lot of the vocals, but he has a side, or not a side project. He has a lot of side projects, but he has a label called Hellcat Records. And there's the pink one, white marble, or pink and white marble. And I was surprised at the quality. It for a live recording bootleg, it probably was off the soundboard. It's pretty good. It's like, it's the way a live show would sound. It's not altered in any way, touched up. You know, it's like it would sound when you were there. So it's really cool. I was very happy to find it. It's not an easy find, to say it all. And that was all I found at Dr. Strange. After that, I think we checked a couple other places, didn't have much luck. It's amazing how prices vary between stores. Some places, I can't believe what they're asking for records, but hey, people are buying them. So the following week, his birthday, we decided to go to Amoeba Records in Hollywood. There are two stores that I know of. You have Hollywood and Berkeley, California. I've been to both. Both really cool stores. The one in Hollywood is much bigger, and now it has moved to a new location. It's a very nice store. It's sensory overload, I'm going to tell you, when you go in there. But just keep this in mind for people who have plans of going there, who've never been there. It's literally the wild, wild west out in there, out in LA. I'm not kidding you. It's wild out there. The homeless is out of control downtown. It's unbelievable. People are living on the streets. I mean, literally, they've built tents and homes on the sidewalk. It's insane. It's depressing. It's dirty. It's depressing. But you know, hey, we went to check it out, and we got there. Well, it hadn't even been open an hour. We waited roughly 45 minutes to get in. So if you're going there, plan on making it a day, because you could spend hours in this place. I'm not even kidding you. There's so much to see, from shirts to books to toys to posters, you name it, they've got it. If it's, well, movies too. I mean, they've got it all. Again, with Amoeba, it's kind of hit or miss when you go there. At least it has been for me, as far as finding used vinyl. They're fresh bin, whatever you want to call it. There was nothing in there that I wanted. I couldn't find anything, but we searched, and I found a few things. And this is the good thing about Amoeba. I think because they have so much stuff, some of their stuff is kind of marked down at times, even on their newer things. If they've just got like a mass quantity of them, if you search through it, you might find the one that's marked a few bucks lower. So keep that in mind when you go there. But this is what I found at Amoeba. Suicidal Tendencies. And this is the Art of Rebellion. It's on Music on Vinyl. I have not had a chance to listen to this one yet, but it's not one you see every day. And I thought it was a fair price. I think it's going for more than that on eBay. So I figure I'm not going all the way there and coming out empty-handed, I'll tell you that. So that's what I came out of there with that one. And my previous video, I stated that Dio was the first concert or first band I saw. Technically, he wasn't. Rough Cut was, because they were the opening act. And I had their first album. It's not one of my favorite rock bands, but they were cool. And this is a promotional copy. It was $10. Very clean condition. There's a little bit of ring wear right here. Here's their promotional little stamp. I couldn't pass it up for $10. And I think they only put out the 2 albums. So hey, now I've got them all. We're done. And I guess I'll listen to it later on down the road. But so the other one I was pretty happy to find was Morrissey. And this is the very best of Morrissey, which is kind of funny because some of these songs I'd never heard, which is cool. And some of them, one, Moon River, okay, I never heard him sing that before. And I don't know how you can say that's your very best, but hey, that's what he thinks it is. It's cool. The only thing, it's got your classics, Ouija board, suede head, things, the usual classics. But then there was a few in there that I'd heard, but I don't believe I have. Interesting I had that one. Interlude, that was the one. I've heard a version of that with Susie from Susie and the Banshees, and this is not that version, but it was cool to have because I'm not even sure what album that's on, because I heard it as a single. But yeah, it's a different one. I don't even Major. What the hell is this record label? I don't even know what this record label is. I'd never heard of this record label before. 180 gram, Major Minor. I'd never heard of them before. The first record, pretty clean, and the second one, some snap, crackle, and pop to it, but there was an imperfection on one of the best songs, Ouija Board, but not a big deal. I mean, I have that song on other best of and whatnot, but yeah, it was kind of a bummer. I kind of had a little skip during that song. But still cool. I mean, anytime you can find Morrissey, especially, original pressings, the prices are astronomical, what they're asking for them. And if you can find a good deal on them, even if they're, not in the best of condition, I would say get it, because they just keep going up in price to the point you can't get them. And even the reissues are hard to get. Speaking of reissues, I got this at my local shop in San Diego. Viva La Hate. This is his first solo album. It has Suede Head on it. Some of the other classics on here. But this one has an added song that is not on the original one. It's, what is it? I can't even hardly see it. Treat Me Like a Human Being. I may have heard it. I don't remember, but it was fairly reasonable price. So, I got to add it to the collection. I am a big fan of Morrissey, although some people don't like him as a person, but whatever, to each his own. Another record that I purchased at my shop was Something Else by Cannonball Adderley, and with Miles Davis, Hank Jones, Sam Jones, and Art Blakey. I mean, that's some heavy hitters right there. This album, I didn't realize how good this album was. I have it on CD. I bought it, I don't know, probably about 5 years ago, and I don't know, it didn't hit me until I listened to the album itself. It's one of my new favorites. I mean, I couldn't pass it up for $15. It's got the little notch cut out of it. It's on Blue Note. This is not the standard cover, though. I wish I could have found the CD. It's a black cover and has the lettering on the side, I believe. But I thought this was cool because you just don't see this every day. I was really happy to find this, especially once I listened to it. It's a good, mellow, easy jazz record. My wife and I will like to have a glass of wine, or when we eat dinner, and just throw in a nice classic jazz album. And this is a good one to start off with. This Blue Note. Yeah, I can't say enough about this album. It just really, really good. I mean, when you got artists like that together, how can you go wrong? And let's see what we have else in the stack. So I'm a huge Johnny Thunders fan, for those of you who don't know me. And I'm always looking on eBay just to see what's out there. I don't normally collect 45s, but when it comes to Johnny Thunders, I'll collect anything. And I found two together, little combo set, if you will. And these are the two. In Cold Blood and Born to Cry. Is that? And these are from later points in Johnny's career. This is one of his earlier singles or 45s. I guess you'd say single. I don't know what record it would have been, to be honest with you. All his stuff is just such a hodgepodge of, excuse the term, but shit all the time. Most of it was live. Because if you don't know, he was a huge heroin addict, and that's just who he was. But it's a little silver label. It's on New Rose Records. It's a pretty tough one to find. I mean, I've seen it on eBay before, but and this one, I believe he did like an EP with Patti Palladine. I don't know her history, but they did I guess you could say a duet on, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 songs. I'm assuming this is I Was Born to Cry, and what's on the B-side? Treat Her Right. She might be on that song. It's been a while since I listened to his stuff with Patti Palladine, but pretty cool. I got a smoke a deal on that. I couldn't pass it up. And which leads me into my next Johnny Thunders. I ordered this from my shop, and I think I got this covered. And I'd seen it on eBay before, and I didn't really do the research on it. And once I got it, oh, I get it. I got this covered. It's all covers, which is cool though. I have probably most of this on CD, maybe on some vinyl, but it's a very, very clean recording, very good copy. I mean, you got your standards on here: Pipeline, Louie Louie, Hang on Sloopy. Oh, I thought that was Hang on Snoopy. I never knew. It's Sloopy. Cool though. I dug it. Gloria, Wipeout, As Tears Go By, Eva Destruction, I'd much rather be with the boys. I love his rendition of that. Really cool. It's on, what the hell is it? The print is so small on it. I'm not even sure who this label is. Let's see. 180 gram. I can't even read it, to be honest with you. But if you're a Johnny Thunders fan, it's worth getting. It's cool. Again, because it's just his covers, and it's really good recordings of them. It sounds like a good portion of them, and I believe it states that in here too. That is from one of his last shows in Japan before he came to the States, back to the States, and OD'd or whatever. It's kind of a debate, but yeah. So I'll show you this. Another Johnny Thunders record I picked up a few weeks back. Again, I was in Bakersfield a few weeks back, and I saw this one that I've been kind of eyeing on eBay for quite some time, and they had a good deal on it. So I figured, yeah, I'll get it. It's live in Zurich. This label, I'm not sure what label this is. A Chunklet Industry release. Never heard of it, but very good quality. It's a good mix of his later stuff. And I believe this, I don't believe, I'm almost 100% positive it was during or after the recording of Que Sera, which was not one of his better albums, but it's still cool because you don't hear too much of that stuff. You always hear the normal Heartbreaker stuff, and which is always good, but it's good to get a mix of different stuff from Johnny. And this was the Que Sera album. Just so you know what it looks like. But yeah, not one of his better ones, but still cool. I mean, like I said, when it comes to Johnny, I'll buy any of it, every bit of it. And speaking of Johnny, and if it's related to Johnny, here's the Waldos, Walter Lure. He was in the Heartbreakers with Johnny Thunders, and very nice guy. I met him a few years back at a Johnny Thunders tribute show. Really nice guy. Signed my records and talked to him a bit, and really cool dude. I saw him again when he did a Heartbreakers reunion. It was him. Everyone else is now deceased. Jerry Nolan, the drummer, Billy Rath has passed away. Of course, Johnny's gone. So yeah, he was the last, and he just passed away, I think, late last year, I believe. So yeah, the guys are getting old. It's pretty sad, but I have not had a chance to listen to this one yet. But again, I found it on eBay and I got a deal on it. I couldn't pass up. I believe there's only like 1,000 copies of this. So I'm almost positive it's a reissue too. I think there might have been on CD to begin with, but yeah, I mean, I couldn't pass it up. The Waldos. And let's see, let's go to one last thing from when I was in Bakersfield. I found this, another really good deal, and Book of Souls. It's Iron Maiden's last studio album, and let me open this up. It is almost as bad as that Megadeth one I showed on my first episode, but hopefully you can see all that. The artwork, as usual, is amazing. It's on 180 gram black vinyl, and let's see what I did with that. I'm not sure what I did with it, but it's standard Iron Maiden. If you're familiar with them, it's a good, solid album. I don't know if I'd say it's their best. Well, it's definitely not their best, but it's, I don't know what I do with it. I don't feel like I'll open it up. Shit. Here it is. Right there. So, black vinyl. All three of them look the same. Got the titles of the tracks on one side, and then the kind of an, I guess they're Aztec theme, maybe? Aztec, I believe. Every album kind of theme changes with Eddie. But it's a good album. It's a good album. I've only listened to it once, and I give it a few more listens. I was happy with it. So one of the, let's see, let's show you this one. The Distillers. Now, if you're not familiar with the Distillers, Brody Dale, or at that time, Brody Armstrong, she was married to Tim Armstrong of Rancid at the time. Man, she, to me, is the best female-fronted punk singer, hands down. She is awesome. Her very gritty voice, but I mean, it's not too gritty. I mean, it's she's still got that, I don't know, she's just got that cool vibe about her. Really good. This album is pretty, I don't want to say pretty raw. It's just a fucking damn good album. I love this album. Black vinyl, 180 gram. It even feels heavier than that, but I'm not sure. But I've got every variant color of this album. They just re-released them earlier in the year, and my wife got them for me for Christmas. So I shouldn't say earlier in the year, because it was, I guess, late last year. But I got them for Christmas. Maybe one of my next episodes I'll show all the different colors. But yeah, again, on that guy, I've got to, if it's someone I really like, I'll get every color, even if it's black. And I know a lot of people like the black over the colored ones, but the collector me, and this is just such a great album. But very cool. Check them out if you have not before. You can't go wrong. And last week, actually it wasn't last week, it was this week. I was in Orange County. I had to do something for work, and at my lunch, I stopped off at a record shop that I've been to before. I can't recall the name of it, but I know that I've found some good things in there. They're they're fair priced. Let's just say that. And this is what I came out with. Good Riddance. If you're not familiar with Good Riddance, they are a punk band out of Santa Cruz. Kind of political in nature, I guess. Not crazy, but a little bit, I guess. I don't know. Black vinyl. Here's the label. And if you are familiar with Good Riddance, you know that this is a tough one to get. There's one on eBay going for over $100, and I got it more than half of that. So I'm very happy to get this one. I'm not big on 10 inches either. I don't know, it's an odd size. And while I was there, I came across this. I'm not big on movie scores, but I thought this one was cool. I have the movie. Growing up with my grandpa, hearing all his World War II stories, he was, GI fighting the Nazis, and I got to hear all the stories, and gave me a love and appreciation for military history. And it's a gatefold, very nice condition. It's an import, and this is, let's see what the label is on this. It is EMI. And I have not listened to. I'll probably get a spin. I'm sure it's just the musical score, but I bought it more for the artwork, and I also know that this is not a cheap record either. But I got it on the cheap, so that works for me. So I was happy to get that. Let's see. I have one last big thing to show here. Let me dig it out. Okay, so I am part of the, let me see what this even says. Okay, well, whatever. It's Third Man Record Vault Club, whatever they want to call it. So we get one of these every quarter, probably maybe 6 months, 3 months, I'm not sure. But they're always, Jack White always puts out something really unique. A lot of it's White Stripes related. Some of his solo stuff. I know he's put out Willie Nelson and some other people too, but I primarily would rather have the White Stripes stuff versus any of that other stuff. But anyhow, there's some weight to this. 4 discs, and they're all different colors. Yeah, let's see, we'll go with I guess we'll say the last one. It's a kind of a gray, bluish marble. And this was recorded at live at the Masonic Temple in Detroit on 7/30 of 2014. Just opened it tonight. I had actually recorded this earlier, but it didn't take, so I had a whole unveiling. It didn't come out, so it is what it is. And let's see, let's go with the next one is, every one of them is a separate color, different color. And I think this one's a black vinyl. Yeah. Black vinyl. And what was funny, I was going to say that always with Jack White, the quality is usually impeccable, but that bit me in the ass, and I'll show you in a minute. But it's not like I can go and return this or exchange it, because once they're out, they're out. You're stuck with it unless you want your money back. But blue vinyl, pretty cool. It's not transparent, but that's fine. It's super heavy, man. It feels like it's even more than 180 grams, which it quite possibly could be. And let's see what the last one is. Come to pop up. White. Very cool. His packaging is usually on point, always. Great artwork usually. This one's kind of bland. Yeah, I'll show you the. Here's where it bit me in the ass. Jack White live at Masonic Temple. I'm not sure what this is. A little paperwork that came with it. So 45 of Jack White Saturday Night Live. I believe this could have been the day Eddie Van Halen died or right after he died. And that week, I know for sure, because I know he was playing one of Eddie Van Halen's signature guitars, which was pretty cool. I was hoping he would have maybe played something from Eddie, but whatever, it's cool. So yeah, so here's his Third Man label. Now here's, I don't know if you can see that. It didn't take very well, so whatever, it's all good as long as the vinyl plays without problems. That's all that matters. But yeah, that's the only one I've ever had with a problem before from his stuff. But it happens, you know. And so let me get the box out that put everything into it. So here's what the box looks like. Back of it. Normal stuff. You know, he's gonna have basically all of his hits. It's a live performance, so he's gonna play a lot from White Stripes, Raconteurs. What you got? Fell in Love with a Girl. My Doorbell. Steady as She Goes. Lazaretto. So it pretty much covers his whole career, which is to be expected. I mean, when you go to a concert, you want to hear all the classics. But each one of them basically kind of has a different picture. And pretty cool. Like I said, his packaging is it's just always on point. Yeah, he's such a great guitarist. I was lucky enough to finally go see him a couple years back, and I wish I could have seen him with the White Stripes, but I was still happy to see him. Just a great performer, great musician. I actually got to meet him at his Nashville store. We were there shopping, and he had one of those machines with the monkeys that clap to music. I think you'd see him at zoos or something like that. And my wife's like, "Hey, film it." And I'm filming it for her. She's tapping me on the shoulder, and I'm like, "What? I'm filming this thing for you." And it's Jack. And I pan over, and there's Jack standing right there. And normally I don't get starstruck. I geek out, and I'm not afraid to go ask for an autograph. And I talked to him and I shook his hand, but I didn't even think to ask him to autograph one of the records in his shop. But super nice guy. I mean, I only saw him for a few seconds, but it was cool. That's the first artist I think I've ever been starstruck and just like kind of was at a loss of words. It caught me totally off guard, but it was really cool. Neat little record store too. If you've never been there, that's a cool record store to see. It's really cool. You're not gonna find used stuff, but it's cool. Check it out. But yeah, that about does it. So, one other thing. So in my last episode, another thing I said I had everything from the Deftones. Yes and no. Now I do. At least full length vinyl. I don't have 12 or 7 inches and things of that nature. But so they reissue this remastered White Pony, and the other part of it is called the Black Stallion. So that's all remixed like by different people. I have no idea how it sounds. I haven't had a chance to open it and listen to it yet, or listen to it on Spotify. I'd rather save it for the vinyl. But yeah, so again, I got a killer deal from my shop down in San Diego. Again, Record City, check them out. You can't go wrong. That's my favorite place to go. So hope you enjoyed it. Hope it wasn't too long. I appreciate you checking my collection out. Thank you for watching, and hope to see you again very soon. Again, I'm going to try and put these out on a weekly basis. So thanks again. Take it easy.